What's up, Internet? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm a hostage.
I'm Michael. He's a hostage of his own making. He didn't say that part. Okay? You didn't say that part.
I brought up and said, hey, did you know there was a new Final Fantasy trailer? And you were like, yeah, but I didn't know if you wanted to watch it. I'm like, I'm always up to watch a video game trailer. Okay. But I didn't plan to be here late at night to do it. I wanted to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch after work.
You can't do that?
I can't do it right now because I'm here with you.
Fair enough. This don't have to be long and belabored.
Okay.
You basically just want to make fun of me because I spent so much money on this game. That is, it still isn't out yet. I mean, you say that, and then when I get my little Cloud Strife figure and his bike, it's gonna be like, ooh, that's gonna be sick.
I mean, I said the same thing for Google Stadia, so.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, we got a new trailer. I guess it kind of makes up for the fact that I'm pretty sure there was an anniversary recently for Final Fantasy VII, like 23 years or 20 something, either yesterday or today. Some game came out, so they're like, hey, here's a little trailer since the game got pushed back to April. Hope you enjoy it. I don't know much about the trailer.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had already paid for the game, I'd be like, I don't need the damn trailer.
True. I mean, you got my money, so just give me the game.
Like, if this was me, this would be offensive. Because you already got my money.
Yeah.
And it's like,
now you're just toying with me.
It's literally.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
yeah. You ready?
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of all the singing, so let's see. Hopefully it's not that much.
So, what did you want to talk about?
When spring comes, I'm leaving town. I'm going to Midgar. I'm going to be a soldier. The best of the best. Like Sephiroth.
Shinra soldier.
Tell me, is it really you?
Are we on schedule?
Please, Mr. President, I am asking you to reconsider. No, begging.
Director Twisty.
The stench of the director's cowardice fills the room yet again.
That's disrespectful.
Supersaturation confirmed. Engaging materia cooling to reduce
Stench
temperature.
of his cowardice.
Madam Director, you have a meeting shortly.
Stop. Your timing is impeccably atrocious.
Oh dear, oh dear. A man of my refined taste running out of
These character models look so detailed.
Dude, but these
Welcome to the Humvee Inn,
terrible.
Cloud. True beauty is an expression of the heart.
Final Fantasy VII
A
wasn't
thing
known
without
for great
shame,
dialogue.
to which notions of gender don't apply. Perfection.
Not a word.
We knew they were going to keep the cross-dressing section in.
But you're so pretty.
Today's right to be is...
Today's?
Pathetic.
Huh? Which one of you said that? You got a mouth on you!
Well, aren't we having a wonderful time kicking the hornet's nest?
You know what I want. A second dance. Just the two of us.
So what the hell is it?
A fascinating question.
Oh, did
The scar?
I am that which you see
That's,
before you.
Red 13.
A touching reunion.
Very, very good. And thus is the hypothesis proven correct. I can only hope you will continue not to disappoint.
Here we go.
It's getting tired of playing tag anyway.
Come on.
Somebody didn't like
Avalanche ain't Wu-Tao or anybody.
Hey, there are parts about love. I'm never going to not Final Fantasy music. Nobuo
We're here to rescue
Metsu, I
Aerith,
think it's
remember?
named, knows how to make
We don't need
this
more attention than
soundtrack.
what we're gonna get.
Yeah, I hear you.
Chocobos. I wonder how they taste.
I know these people, and I know they're never gonna let Aerith go.
Do they taste like
She's
chicken?
the last living ancient on the planet.
I would think
Think
so.
about what that means to Shinra's scientists.
This is
The source of everything. Genova.
he's going to be a black exploitation actor.
The Shinra Electric Power Company isn't the real enemy. I promise you, there's a much bigger threat. I just want to do everything in my power to help all of you and the planet.
All right.
So, man, I was about to say.
What, did they push it back again? That would be wild.
I was like, oh, that is April, and I was because I was like, if that ain't April,
Watch me explode.
I was like, I wanted to be like, you could be okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I've said before, I didn't really care about Final Fantasy VII is not my favorite Final Fantasy, so they keep pushing it back. I'm not gonna be upset.
Okay,
that's fine as long as they get it right. The thing that's upsetting me more is them splitting it up into these different parts. Unless they say, and they have said, Midgar is now a full-fledged game. We'll see what that really means because it spans 2 Blu-ray discs. So
this game.
This part one,
this part one
is 2 Blu-ray discs.
And according to you and other people out there, Midgard was a very small part of this game.
I mean, compared to the whole game, yeah, it didn't, yeah.
So, are they beefing this up to satisfy people? Because if they're pushing this back, could they be pushing this back so that the distance between this when it comes out and the next one isn't so long?
I don't know because they've only pushed it back a month, right? And we don't even know. We've heard that they're working on the next part, but we don't know where they are. They might be in pre-production.
So that means another, what, 3 to 5 years?
Maybe. Who knows? Because we don't know anything about it. It could be a thing of, it would be super cool if it was like Capcom did where they gave us RE2 Remake and then a year later we got RE3 Remake. That'd be very cool if they pulled that off. I don't think Square Enix has their S together like that. So, like Capcom might. That'd be cool, but I don't think that's the case.
2, another question. As I'm watching this, I'm seeing you're reacting to certain things. I'm wondering how the community is going to respond to keeping certain things in and then leaving. Because are they expanding this because it wasn't that interesting, or in other words, are they expanding this because they may be cutting other stuff in other parts of the game? See what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I don't think so. I feel like it's Square Enix known for doing that cash grab of making you buy Final Fantasy VII on several different platforms for stupid amounts of money when it should be like maybe $9.99 or $5.99, selling it for $19.99. They're like, oh, you know what? We can break this up into parts and do whatever. Now, they've said that, oh, we found a way to make this so much better and so expansive. And that could be true, but the cynic in me is also like, you found a way to nickel and dime people for multiple parts.
True. It's a different way to do microtransactions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a smarter way to do microtransactions. But you've said that this Midgar is not a big part. So if they're taking this long just to get this small part done,
yeah,
does that mean that it's going to take even longer to get the other parts of the game that was more essential to the game? Or
it's possible.
Or is it that they're beefing this up because they're cutting stuff out later on? And I guess
I don't think they're cutting stuff out. I think they're going to include as much stuff as possible. And I wholeheartedly believe that they have found a way to make this a full game.
How many hours is this campaign? Have they said?
They haven't said. But I mean, 2 Blu-ray discs. I wonder if it's a thing of kind of like, what was, before Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, what was it, Phantom Pain? Like that prequel thing to Metal Gear Solid 5? I wonder if it's a thing like that where you can play it multiple times. Like, so maybe it's like 30 hours. You're like, oh, okay. But maybe there's another way to play it and you get a slightly different ending. And maybe you can have multiple endings, taking it to the part 2 of Final Fantasy VII.
But then wouldn't that negate how you play the next part? If you have multiple endings, in other words, so it's going to take your save file from this game, and then you go to the next game. But if you have multiple endings, that's going to change where you start in the next game because the ending is different.
Yeah, but it's probably not like a huge difference, right? It would be like how Mass Effect 1 and 2 had different endings, but in the end, they still managed to funnel all into Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, but you didn't have different endings on the same save file. See what I'm saying? In other words, you played Mass Effect and it was different endings, but it didn't shape. But that wasn't. There was 2 totally different games afterwards. It wasn't within the same game.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows?
So,
It's well, if that's what you're looking at, then you could think of it like the Walking Dead games, how those are episodic, and even though you like do certain things, maybe the ending isn't super different, but maybe some of the choices you made in it will affect stuff later on. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Based on how it looks, and we saw more of the gameplay, I'm interested in the game. I am. The gameplay looks different. The weapons, Cloud
Strife with his huge Buster sword.
So there was a part where he was using a spear.
Yeah.
So is the gameplay changing so much where there are different weapons?
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to
use?
equip different weapons, and like the whole thing is the big thing about Final Fantasy VII. Viewers, let me know. You guys, I'm sure you will let me know, but I'm pretty sure it was the materia system, which allowed you to sync different types of magical elements onto your weapons that gave you different stat bonuses and different magical things. So I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing on this. And since this is more detailed now, instead of it, you'll probably actually be able to see which materia actually is on your weapon as it pops up.
We also saw a different point of view from one of the players. It wasn't Cloud. It was a different person. It wasn't Tifa. Who was the girl?
Aerith?
I don't know. I don't know the names. I'm sorry. But we saw a different character being focused on as if that was the point character. Does that do the
You talking about when Cloud was cross dressing?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was I wish we had the shuttle function that I could actually, but there's a part in the game when you get to the gameplay, like right here. So.
Yeah. You can switch out kind of what character you're controlling. They've already said that.
Okay.
So you can control one character while the CPU will control the other two. You can switch out to whoever.
So you don't always have. How does that work? So Cloud is the main protagonist.
Yeah.
But you can switch out. Is it
what I'm guessing is once the battle system takes over, that's when you can be like, okay, now I want to control Tifa to do whatever while Cloud is doing whatever. And then once the battle's over, it'll probably just revert back to you controlling Cloud.
The reason why I asked that is because it goes back to my question where you were talking about multiple endings. So right here. So you have different people. Is this kind of like a Dragon Age or like maybe some like Outer Worlds or is it Outer Wilds? Is it Outer?
I don't know which one. Which one?
The space RPG, where basically if you
Outer Worlds.
as you choose your companions, is that going to affect your ending of the choices you have? Because in other words, they're talking about this game is totally different. So is that what we're seeing? That is if you pick Tifa and you pick somebody else, will that change the actual?
I don't know
how you actually play. What happens to you in the game? I'd like to know. It's interesting because this is a remake.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ways they could go based on how new RPGs are done. But it's still a Square Enix game.
Yeah. And the dialogue sounds a little kind of not great. But
I expected the dialogue to be better. I did.
Yeah. Some of the delivery sounds a little flat. Doesn't sound as great as you would expect.
It sounds like the old Final Fantasy games. That's what it sounds like. For this to be the remake, the pinnacle, I guess maybe, and maybe I'm asking for a little bit more. It does sound a little tinny as far as like, that's not how people talk. So why are we like?
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of. I feel like they're keeping the spirit of Final Fantasy VII.
Kind of. This is
because like if you look at Resident Evil 2, that sounded more modern than how they talk.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but I feel like they're kind of keeping the spirit of Final Fantasy VII.
Because see, that's what I was thinking. Like in Resident Evil 2 and in 3, they have expanded how these characters interact. It's a more modern feel. So that's what I was kind of expecting from this trailer somewhat. And it did sound a little better. It did sound, but it still sounded cartoony.
Yeah.
It still was like, I'm going to this, and I'm going to be a soldier. And it's like, nobody talks like that.
Yeah, but also, like, there were kind of melodramatic parts of Final Fantasy VII. Almost not super soap opera-y, but like a soap, operatic type feel about
Bold
it.
and the Beautiful type?
Maybe Young and the Restless, yeah. It definitely had, a soap opera, an operatic type feel to some parts, so I feel like they're keeping that going.
All right. Interesting. All right.
We'll see if the game ever comes out on April 4th or April 10th. I wonder what'll come out first, if New Mutants will get pushed back or if this will get pushed back.
Oh, this is coming out. New Mutants is going to be released on Hulu.
When is it supposed to come out? April 3rd?
It's supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Well, when is it now supposed to come out? April 3rd? Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe here. You can find us here on YouTube, also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WTX.com. And we're out.